So after a little hiatus from the holiday weekend and everything, and last week, podcast is back online. Okay, guys. I have no idea what episode this is. So this is the Wild Nutrition Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Heskett, and today we're going to talk about the things that are holding you back. Before we jump into things, as always, check down in the show notes. We have some free stuff there. We've been having a little bit of issues with the domain. So if you click the link to grab the macros guide down below, just let me know. My social media accounts are down there, so give me a follow, but you can also just message me through there if you want the guide. So if you click on it and it's down, just send me a message asking for the macro guide, and I will send you that, or I'll send you the backup domain we have. Something's up, and I just haven't heard back from support on what's going on with that. Anyways, guys, so let's dive into today's topic. It's going to be about what is holding you back from your results. So most people, we're going to talk about mostly weight loss. Weight loss, a little bit of health tied in, but because most people want to lose weight to improve their health, also visual appearance, but mostly there's a health component to it, whether it's a physical or mental health or combination. So what is holding you back from actually accomplishing that? What is holding you back from reaching that result you want so bad? Yet every time you actually start getting results, you get burnt out, you get tired of doing it, and you fall off. Yet in a few months later, you're desperate to do it again, and you're so desperate that you buy some bullshit that doesn't work, some supplement, some belly wrap, or something like that. So this is something I've seen time and time again coaching for the past 10 years. And we just kicked off a challenge this past week. And what we had for people was a couple things we wanted them to do first. We built out this huge module education portal with all these modules, and we wanted them to watch these modules. Now, there's a lot on week one, but all the things they need to be successful are in those modules. They're there. They just need to make an account and watch that. And it's not like they're hour-long things. They're like 5 to 10-minute videos. So still not the shortest thing. It's not a TikTok reel of 60 to 90 seconds. But the information for exercise substitutions, nutrition, where to find things was all there. So everyone's super excited. They get set up on the app, and immediately they just start messaging me. What about this? I need to do this. What substitutions? Where am I going to go and find my macros? So before we even had the kickoff call. So the kickoff call was Tuesday. Everyone signed up, getting in early. It was do these things. And the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people didn't do the basics. They didn't do what needed to be done first to get them set up. They didn't set themselves up for success. Now, we got everyone signed up, of course, but this is something that's common of like, you're so excited, you're like, I'm just going to hit the ground running. I'm not going to prepare at all. It's kind of like if we were going to go hiking and we're going to hike up a big mountain, and you're so excited that you just like jump out of the car and get going. Like, we're just going to start hiking. You left your bag with your water, food, the map, your phone, everything, and you're like, I'm just going to go. Well, some people might have success, but a lot of people won't. They're going to be like, oh, shit. So you might remember like a few feet in and run back and like grab your stuff. You're like, oh, I was just so excited to make sure I get set up. And that's kind of what we did with everyone. But a lot of people hike in and get pretty far and then be like, fuck, I am in trouble now. I need to go back. I need to grab my stuff. But then you get back and you're like, I already hiked so all that. Like, it's getting late. I'm just going to go home. We're going to try this again, which we don't want to do because you never accomplished the goal. So we want to make sure we're ready. Do the basic things first. Get yourself set up. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to spend 6 weeks in the setup phase, but what you should do is figure out your nutrition instead of like jumping in and everyone's like making these giant changes, and we're like, no, send us a 3-day food journal. Like your homework for this week, 3-day food journal without making a bunch of changes. Yes, we understand that there's probably going to be some changes. Send us notes of what you were doing before, which is fine. We want to see what you were eating and make adjustments. So everyone skipped that, which they could have been done. They're like, oh no, we have to go back and do like, yeah, it was watch this first 3-day food journal. It's literally like watch this first in the title in all caps. So we had that. We have a mindset and goal setting guide. Like people need to do those things before getting set up for, or before they're going to be really able to have success. So when people start things, again, we're excited. We jump right in. We want to move super fast. And when we try to move too fast, too soon, you don't have a good foundation. You're not set up because we're kind of just running on motivation and we're running on best case scenario, which a lot of times when we're starting something new, it is the best case scenario. We're not looking at some of the what ifs and planning for that. Like, I'm just going to jump in, forgetting you have business travel and this coming up, and you have these obligations on the weekend where you're not going to be able to meal prep, and you're just like plowing through and I'll figure that out later. No, we need some planning. That doesn't mean you can't get started with some stuff, but it shouldn't mean like try to do everything all at once. Like, okay, did you get your gym membership set up? Do you know exactly what you're eating? Do you really need to overhaul things, or do you just need to track what you typically eat for 3 days and see where you land and then make adjustments? Do we have a plan for travel if you travel on a regular basis? Do you have exercise modifications so if you get injured, if something bothers you, if equipment's not available, like there's other reasons other than injury, can you adjust instead of getting frustrated? So again, this stuff doesn't take long to do, but everyone skips it. Like, that's the boring stuff. Let's move right to the fun stuff, the exciting, flashy stuff. I'm going to cut out all sugar. Like, do we really want to do that? Because you have a massive sweet tooth. It's probably going to be a problem. So we want to slow down, prepare, actually have that foundation set up, actually have a plan where, okay, we're going to do this diet from this date to this date, and then we'll make adjustments if needed. Like, do we want to keep going? Do we need a diet break? Are we going to, when is it going to end? So that's the other problem, is people just like start dieting. They think that's eternity. And I can tell you right now, after restarting my diet this week, like, I don't want to eat this way for all eternity. That's miserable, but I do want to get results. I do realize it's going to probably be like 12 to 16 weeks of eating this way, which is fine for me. But it also gives that limitation of like, it's only going to be so long and then I'm going to need a break. And that's fine. That's what we want. We don't want to be in diet phase 24/7. We need to get back to maintenance. Weight loss calories are not ideal. I will tell you right now, my weight loss calories are 22 to 2300. I'm still missing some of the micronutrients. Like, I'm getting a lot of them, but each day I've been a little bit low on vitamin K, which is fine. I supplement folate and vitamin E, which again, I do take a multivitamin, which should cover those bases. And I've been low here or there with little bits of other things. So if you're eating 1500 calories, if you're eating 1300 calories, how are you getting all those nutrients in? Because I'm getting veggies in, but you're going to have to really be restricted to getting the most nutrient veggies in, which you may or may not like. Like, I get really bored of Swiss chard and kale after a while. So you have to look at your diet, figure out the time frame you want to do it, and then get back to maintenance. Because at maintenance, it's going to be much easier to hit all your nutrient requirements. Weight loss, yes, if you have excess body fat, you have slightly high blood sugar, that's going to help improve those factors. But long term, we're going to downregulate things. Our sex hormones are going to drop. Our metabolic rate's going to drop because the thyroid's going to downregulate. Maintenance is where things are happy. We're going to run into possible nutrient deficiencies. And yes, you can supplement, but supplements aren't the best. So we want to lose weight and then go back to maintenance. Maintenance is where your body's going to be happiest. It's going to be where everything's optimized. Your energy levels are going to be best. Your sleep's going to be the best. Your recovery is going to be the best. Maybe slight calorie surplus is actually better for that because you're actually going to be building muscle or improving athletic performance. But basically, maintenance is where we want to live at if we're not trying to reach for any goal. But a lot of people will just set things up like, okay, well, 1,200 calories and I quote unquote gain more weight if I eat any more than that, which is bullshit unless you're like 4'3" and sedentary. Yes, you will gain some weight after you go to maintenance. Why? You're eating more carbs and you're eating more volume of food. Food has weight. So yeah, if your goal is 130, you might pop up to 132, 133. Or maybe your goal is 200 and you might pop up to 205. But that's fine. If you're not really going above that, if you're just bouncing between 203, 205 and you look basically the same or even better, who the fuck cares? We want to get to maintenance. And that should be the goal from the beginning. It's like, okay, we're doing this goal. We're going to start a weight loss phase. We're going to go 12 weeks, 16 weeks, longer, maybe 26, 6 months. Then we're going to need to take a break. And you can look back at your past issues or times you've dieted and fallen off. How long did it take you? Was it week 8? Was it week 12? We can kind of time things out to be like, okay, we're going to go 8 weeks, and then we're going to consider a diet break if needed. And if not needed, we're going to go 12 weeks, consider a diet break if it's not needed, and then 16 weeks. And then we're definitely going to take, regardless of whether we want to keep going, we're going to take like maybe a 4-week diet break and then kick things off again. Or maybe you continue longer. It depends. I'm speaking generally here. But you set that goal of, okay, well, it's only so long. It's only in this time frame that I'm feeling restricted, which is fine because we want to have alcohol. We want to go out to eat. We want to do these other things and not track food and not be like, how am I going to make this work with my calories? Yeah, I get it. I'm like that too. But if we have a goal, that goal is the priority. So we need to figure out how can we reach that goal. Well, we're going to have to cut a lot of that stuff out. Those things are great for maintenance phases. So we're going to go feel restricted for only a short amount of time. That's fine. We're going to have to say no. We're not going to be able to do things. We're going to have to cook from home more for a short amount of time. Then we can reconsider. Okay, well, there's more I want to do. I'm feeling fine. I'm not feeling burnt out. Let me continue. Great. Or I'm feeling really restricted. I need a break. Okay, great. Well, after 8 weeks, maybe it's a 1 to 2 week break. You have some fun, and then you get back into it. You plan, okay, in 2 weeks, getting back into it. I'm not going to go crazy. It's not a free-for-all. It is, okay, we're going to bounce back to kind of like our maintenance calories. So you go from, say, losing weight at 1,500 calories, and you bounce up to 2,000 calories. Like it's only 500 additional calories, and it should be right around your maintenance. So yeah, you might put on some weight from water weight and stuff, but you're not going to really gain body fat. You're just like pausing things. Then you're going to jump back into it. Again, this all needs to be planned out in the front end. So with the challenge we just kicked off, we're having people kind of set things up in the first 4 weeks, and then we really kick off the results accelerator after week 5 for the last 8 weeks of the challenge. We want people to get set up, get ready to have success with the program, rather than just like jump in full force, like give them time to get things set up and then really go after it with their goals after 4 weeks of getting things set, knowing how to eat and track without that pressure of losing weight, getting to the gym without the pressure of losing weight, because most people are in it to lose weight. So that's why we want to not jump into things right away. We want to plan things out a little bit. That doesn't mean not taking action, because I've seen that too. People are like, oh, Um, I'm just when I get healthy, I'll hire a coach, which is bullshit because the coach is supposed to help you with that. Um, when I lose some weight, I'll join the gym. What the fuck? The gym's going to help you, whether that's home gym or going to a gym. Like, no, you need to sign up for that now. You need to get started with that now. I'll just jump in. I'm just going to cut out all these foods and that'll make me lose weight. Great. But are you going to eat them in the future? So you're just going to restrict these foods you like and then add them back in full force later on? Like, that doesn't work either. We show time and time again it doesn't work. So we want to get rid of these really bad mental hurdles because a lot of times these are excuses. You crave certain foods, so we're going to cut them out and then we're going to crave. Well, I gave into my cravings. It's a craving, so I justify it. When I lose weight, I will, reach out for help. So you never actually start losing weight, so you never actually reach out. Or people will spend like, I'm doing my research. Like, what the fuck research are you doing? Because I've had people say this, and then I follow up like 4 weeks later with them. Yeah, I'm still researching. What? When it comes to health and weight loss, 2 hours of research. That's all. You are kidding yourself. Doing your research, you're not doing anything. Don't kid yourself. You're fucking bullshitting me and yourself. You're not researching anything. You're looking at a bunch of influencers saying conflicting information. You haven't taken any action. You want to know the best research? Do it on yourself. Take action. Everybody knows eat less, move more thing. Yes, it's really redundant and cliche and overly simplified. There's way more nuance, but we need to move. We need to get our steps in. We need to work out, and we need to not eat a bunch of bullshit, which a lot of times it's not necessarily your meals. Most adults, I've found, eat pretty decent meals. I'm not saying everyone's perfect. I'm not perfect. But most people eat meals a little bit better than what they think they do. You know what messes most people up? The fucking snacking. Like, if we could take the calories from snacking and put them to your meals, you'd be so much better off. Because a lot of people will restrict their meals, but then have all these different snacks. Like, well, I don't understand why. Well, you're eating these really calorie-dense snacks. Let's take the 700 calories in snacks and add that to lunch and dinner. That's 350 extra calories at lunch and dinner. Or maybe we take 500 of those calories and just add it to dinner. Now you have 1,000-calorie dinner and then a 200-calorie snack after dinner. Like, oh, well, I still need something sweet. Great. There's your 200 calories. Oh, well, sometimes I like a glass of wine. Great. There's your 200 calories. We can figure that out. But you can't spend 4 weeks, quote unquote, doing your research without taking action. Because you're never going, you're just like planning and you're like, well, this person says this and this person says how carbs in it. I just don't know who to listen. Maybe you just start taking action. Maybe you start moving more, you start eating better, you get sleep, and you realize kind of what works, what strategies work best, because all the strategies can work. But you realize what works best for you, and you use that to get the goals you want. Anyways, that's why we don't want to just jump in. We want to actually do the work. We want to plan things out a little bit, but we don't want to spend too long. We want a little bit of planning and then action. Like, okay, research, action step. Research, action step. Not no research, just immediately emotional reaction, which ends up with us like burnt out and having a negative relationship with food and frustrated with ourselves, or just in research mode 24/7. Like, so when you gonna do the damn thing? Never. Like, it's been 3 months. You're still quote unquote research, and I know people I don't know if they listen to the podcast anymore because I've called them out multiple times, not actually saying their name, but it's like 3 months. What are we doing? Are you studying for quantum mechanics? Like you're trying to build a quantum computer at home? You don't need 3 months of research to figure out a diet strategy that works for you. Just start eating more veggies and more protein and less of the other stuff. Like cut out liquid calories, cut back on snacks, get your steps in if you can't get to the gym. It's not rocket science. It is that simple to get started. And then once you get that foundation laid, then we can get into more nuanced topics of what will be best for you. But until you do the basics, we won't know that. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's podcast. So down below, there's obviously the guides. We've been having issues with the domain, like I said before. Hopefully that'll be fixed soon. But you can download the Mastering Macros guide down below. So if you're like, well, I need to research macros, we did it for you. So that's down below to get you set up and started with macros, or at least calories and protein tracking. If you want more information like recipes and other stuff, join the Facebook group. Melissa's in the Facebook group, the Commit to Fit Facebook group, every day posting recipes. So if it's, well, I don't know what to eat, we got you. Melissa posts at least 5 recipes a week, if not 7. So every single day in that group, there's a new recipe posted. And then obviously give me a follow on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can find me at Chris_PWC. For now, I've been talking about changing it for a while. I think I might have a good idea, but if you have a suggestion for a username, send it my way. I'm not sure what that's why I haven't changed it, and everything's been set to Chris_PWC. I'm like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to change it. So if I need to change it, I have to really like it, because I'm gonna have to go into all my social media accounts, all my links, and change all of it. So anyways, that's the link right now. If you're listening to this at a later date, it might be a different username, in which case that should be updated down the show notes, but can't make any promises. Again, if you're listening at a later date, just go to one of the newer episodes, and it'll be updated.